Good evening, everybody. This is a very well requested video. It's not a tarot reading. This is about meditation and how do I meditate. Well, I'm going to tell you a little story to begin with. I didn't meditate until I was in my mid-40s, and I found it incredibly difficult, and over the years I've sort of picked it up and dropped it and picked it and basically said, I can't meditate, I can't do this, this isn't for me. And then I got ill, and ill to the point where there is nothing that anybody can particularly do about this illness. And so I had to learn somehow how to manage my illness. And through this illness, I have learned Reiki, I've learned hypnotherapy, I've become an advanced hypnotherapist and psychotherapist, I've learned kinesiology, I've learned acupressure, I've learned theta healing, I've learned all sorts of alternative healing modalities, and it was all initially to try and manage my own ill health. And so meditation was one of those things that I began this journey on. And the reason why I continue to meditate is because I had to. And I found meditation the first and foremost difficult thing I've ever learnt to do. And the reason for that is I would sit down to meditate and I'd find other things that I should be doing instead. Or my mind would be so restless I wouldn't be able to relax. Or my body would hurt, or I would start itching, or I'd be restless in my seat, I wouldn't be able to get comfortable, or I'd sit there for a minute and my entire body just went into like, meh. It was horrific. And I would sit down day after day after day and all this kind of thing. And initially I thought that I had to clear my mind of all thoughts, until I really delved into it, and until I learned the psychology and the hypnotherapy aspect of this thing, where I realised that actually it is impossible to clear your mind. So if you're starting on a meditation journey, please don't think that you're supposed to clear your mind. You are not supposed to clear your mind. This is about observing. When you sit down to meditate, you sit down in order to observe. You're observing your own thoughts without attachment. So, say a thought comes in, a feeling of dread, a worry, an anxiety. You can do one or two things. You can watch that thought come in and recognise it for what it is. Or you can recognise, or you can allow that thought to take you down a rabbit hole. You know, the sort of scenario rabbit hole, you know, in your head when you're sort of telling yourself a story. Just a minute. Sorry about that. I thought there was somebody knocking at the door. So you can sit there and you can let your mind run riot, and you can let your mind tell yourself the most ridiculous stories, and before you know it, you've gone into the world of fantasy land. It's about catching the thought before it becomes an epic novel. So say a worry about something comes in, you recognize it for a worry, and then you allow that to leave, and then you observe the next thought that comes in, and you allow that one to leave, and the next thought, and you allow that one to leave. And it's about observing and noticing the thoughts that are coming in, but you must start to learn to allow them to leave. Now this is very difficult. So starting on a meditation journey, I would just set a timer for 5 minutes. Be somewhere where you can be quiet, where you won't be disturbed, and just sit for 5 minutes. Watch your breath going in, watch your breath going out. You sort of track your breath, try and notice the breath going in and where it's going to, and the sensations from breathing in that your body experiences, and the sensations that your body experiences when you're breathing out. Try and do that. There are other things that you can do. If you find that difficult, you could sit there, close your eyes, and in your mind count backwards from 100. And the minute you notice that your mind's telling you stories and you've stopped counting, you have to go back to 100 and start counting down from 100. If you can count down from 100 to 1 without a thought or some scenario playing out in your head, you've started to allow your body started allowing you to sit quietly and just observe. Because your body will try to unseat you, and this is why most people stop meditating, because of the sensations that the body gives, the itch, the wriggle, the restlessness. So if you are struggling with meditation at the moment, it might just be that your body's just not used to it. And anything that your body's not used to, your mind's not used to, it'll send signals to your body to unseat you. It's about It's about teaching the dog to sit. When you teach a dog to sit, the dog will not sit for ages. It can take you weeks to teach a dog to sit, but once that dog's learnt to sit, you only say sit once and the dog will sit. It's the same with your body. It's like teaching your body to sit. Anyway, I hope that helps. And if any of you are interested in the draw for the Angel Tarot cards by Radley Valentine, along with the essential guide to the symbols, spreads and accurate readings, you need to be subscribed. You need to comment on this video if you haven't commented already on previous video, and you need to put enter me in the comments. So before we go, I'm going to do a postcard from Spirit, because I found the lid after all those weeks. Right, these postcards from Spirit, they are not tarot cards, they are little sort of messages, presumably from Spirit. Oh, hang on, that's the book, that's the little insert. And I'm going to do a message from Spirit, and then I'm going to get off. If anybody's got any further questions about meditation, I didn't write any notes about it, because I'm actually not very well at the moment, and so I've not had it in my mind to write it, and then I've realised I did say I was going to do this video about meditation. Meditation is not an easy thing to do. You cannot just sit down and expect to just meditate like that. It takes practice. It's like exercising a muscle, and it's like training a dog to sit. It takes many months of practice, but you think you're rubbish at it, and in a few weeks you'll think, oh, I'm still rubbish at meditation. But how you know, just every week that goes by, there'll be a slight improvement. But stick to it, because it is worth it in the end. It really is worth it in the end. We've got one. We've got two. So, which one are we having? That one. Dear you, there is a balance between activity and rest, ebb and flow. You can't have one without the other. If you are faced with an obstacle right now, the best course is surrender and non-resistance. Soon enough you'll see how easy it is to flow around it. Now is one of those times when you must trust the river of your life. Go with the flow, and in no time you'll reach what you have your heart and hope set on. Just remember, Spirit will keep your head above water and will direct the currents. When it's time for a greater effort, you'll know exactly when you'll need to work those manifesting muscles. It can be challenging to master the flow of cycles in your life, but as you develop your skills, affluence will be yours. Enjoy the flow and trust those currents, for we're right there with you with our little umbrella drinks, smiling at your success. Now is the time. The best course is surrender and non-resistance. So when you are practicing meditation and you're sitting there and you're itching to death and you've got cramp all of a sudden, and you've decided that you've forgotten to do something and it's an emergency, just remember it's your body trying to unseat you. And everybody can meditate, but it takes effort, it takes practice, and it takes, basically, it's a test of resilience. In order to, you're never going to crack it, because your mind will never ever be still. It's not even still when you're asleep, because you dream. So if you think you've got to empty your mind in order to meditate, sorry, that's not how you meditate. Anyway, I'm off, and if you're really struggling, get on YouTube. There are a lot of really good guided meditations out there where, you know, you'll still maybe itch, you'll still have twitch, you'll still have cramp, you'll still have all these other things. When you're first starting out, it's normal. This is what happens. Maybe a guided meditation from YouTube. There's some really good ones out there. Basically, you put the thing on and it tells you what to do. It takes you through a breathing process and a relaxation process. Try that if you really can't sit there. But I would start off with 5 minutes and build it up. It's just like exercising. You can't decide you're going to run a marathon and just put your running shorts on after not doing any exercise for 20 years and then just think you can run 26 miles. You can't. It's a little bit at a time. Anyway, I hope it helps, and I'll speak to you soon. Take care. Ta-ra.